people are gonna think I have a secret boyfriend. But then I was like, but I kind of do. But it's Jesus. Hi, my name is Kaylee, and I'm the Catholic Campus Minister for the Diocese of St. Catharines. Welcome to our chaplaincy channel, Build Momentum. And welcome to episode 2 of My Holy Ghost Writer, a series about my vocation journey so far and the things I've learned along the way. God is truly the author of this story, hence the name, My Holy Ghost Writer. And there's still lots left of the story. So if you want to make sure you hear it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media. The first episode was all about my initial call to consider religious life. And this episode is all about me falling in love with Jesus. Between January of my second year and January of my third year, God just really opened my heart to the possibility of a vocation to religious life. I really started to see that this really could be something that I'm made for. And I also just started to see the beauty in religious life. For example, when a sister says her vows, she marries Jesus. Over the course of that year, anytime I started to get scared of the possibility of religious life and wanting to say no to God, or just starting to get confused or distracted from that call and started to think oh God, you want me to go that way instead? Anytime I did that, he would kind of bring my focus back to religious life. And I'm going to share 2 stories of how he did that in this video today. And both of those stories, he did that using song. So one of the ways that God kind of speaks to me in prayer is through songs. And sometimes they're praise and worship songs or church songs, but more often they're actually secular songs that he'll use. And it'll either just kind of start playing in my head, or the song will come on, on my radio or something like that. But that deep peace in my heart that I was talking about before, that also goes along with the song lyrics, and that's how I know it's really from him and not just a song stuck in my head, because that also happens a lot. So the first story takes place in the summer between my second and third year of university. And at that point in time, I had been open to and thinking about religious life for multiple months, and I was hanging out with 2 of my best friends from high school, and it was in the back of my head that I was debating maybe telling them about this, that this was maybe something that was on my radar. And when we started to kind of get closer to the topic of faith related things and stuff, just some stuff was said that just made me just shut down, and I just became so hesitant to tell them. And me and these friends have had really, really beautiful conversations in all the years since then. But just in that moment, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't tell them. When I was heading back to my car to drive home, I just wanted to get in the car, and I was already telling God, no, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. How can I even think about religious life if I can't even tell 2 of my best friends that I'm even remotely considering it? I was no, I can't do it. There's no way I'd ever be able to do it if I can't even tell my best friends. And so I was in the process of telling God that, and essentially telling God no. And I just wanted some quiet time in the car to tell God no. And normally when I want to pray in the car, I want it to be quiet. I would turn off the radio. But I just felt so ooh, kind of a thing. When your stomach is just kind of in knots. I just had the urge to turn on the radio and just belt it all up. Just find a song that I know the words to and just sing all the tension out. And so I had the urge to turn on the radio, and I was this is weird, but I just feel I need to do this. So I turned it on, and the first song on the radio was "Follow Me" by Uncle Cracker. And if you haven't heard that song before, you can go take a listen. Some of the lines go, "Follow me and everything will be all right. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me." And again, just that deep peace in my heart, hearing that song, I knew it was really Jesus singing to me, saying that he's calling me to follow him, and that all I need to do is follow him, and he will be there every day for me. Everything will be all right. And if I want to leave, if I want to say no, if I don't want to follow his call to religious life or wherever he's leading me, that, you know, I'm free to leave and to not do that. But that I won't ever find anyone like Jesus. That just gave me so much joy and peace. And I was like, okay, Lord, okay, like, I can't figure this out. Like, I have no idea if this is what you're calling me to. I think it is, but yes, like, I surrender to you. I will follow you. I trust you. Okay, yes. So the next story is a story of me kind of getting distracted and confused in that year, and God bringing some clarity in that. I had started to become friends with this young man, and I didn't have feelings for him, but, you know, we had started praying the rosary together and stuff like that, and I was kind of like, wait, God, like, is this where you want this to go? Because, like, I don't really want this to go that way. Like, I'm now thinking I want to be a sister. Like, what the heck? Why are you being confusing? When really, like, I was just starting to be friends with this guy. So it was me making some problems where there weren't some in the first place, but it was confusing to me, and I was kind of frustrated about it. But that summer, I had started to go to the Adoration Chapel at my parish, and I would kind of sometimes like sneak go to adoration so that nobody would know, because at this point I still wasn't super open about my faith. I didn't really like to talk about it, and yeah, I didn't really want people to know, or my family really to know, that I was, you know, choosing to go spend time in the Adoration Chapel. So I'd kind of go in between errands or in between, you know, extracurricular activities, or like on my way home from work when I wasn't going to be home at a particular time, those types of things. So I was like sneak going to adoration. But I went to the church and I went to the chapel, and I just kind of, you know, vented about this whole situation to Jesus. And I was like, why is this situation happening? Like, I finally thought that I was like maybe thinking about religious life, and now I'm like starting to be friends with this guy. Like, what the heck? And I didn't receive an answer like in the chapel, but I was just spending time talking with Jesus, because he is truly present in the Eucharist. And when I got back into my car, I turned on my car, and the first lines out of the radio were, "Have you ever thought just maybe you belong with me?" After I was just spending time with Jesus in the chapel. And again, the peace in my heart, knowing that that was something that Jesus was saying to me. Like, have you ever thought just maybe you belong with me? And again, that just like a feeling of relief and joy and peace. And I just sang that Taylor Swift song at the top of my lungs all the way home. These two songs were just two of the ways that God was really pursuing me and showing me that, you know, his love is real, that he is real, his love is real, that it's proven and merciful and offered. And he was really inviting me to respond, to say yes to this offer of his love and this relationship with him, and this invitation for me to choose to put him first in my life. So both of these stories happened between January of my second year and January of my third year. Towards the end of that time, you know, I started falling in love with Jesus. You know, love songs started being about Jesus. And I realized one day that Jesus really had my heart. If you've ever heard of clatter rings before, there's a heart, a crown, and hands. If you wear it with the point of the heart facing in, it means your heart is taken. And if you wear it with the point of the heart facing out, it means your heart is free. So either you're in a relationship or you're single. I'd been wearing it with the point out for a long time, like since I got my ring. And I realized that wasn't accurate anymore. Like, I realized that I did love Jesus, and that I did think I wanted to spend my life with him, and that he truly did have my heart. And so I decided to start wearing my ring the other way. That was a bit of a difficult decision, especially since lots of people don't know what the clatter rings mean, but some people do. And I was like, people are gonna think I have a secret boyfriend. But then I was like, but I kind of do. But it's Jesus. So like, ah. And at that point, I was also still not that willing to talk about my faith with a lot of people. I did in some circumstances, but in a lot of times I just didn't. And so I was afraid of like random people on the Residence Life staff asking me about it and all that kind of stuff. But I decided that it was accurate to switch my ring to wear it as if Jesus had my heart. And I realized the day that I chose to switch the direction that I wear my ring was actually a year to the day that I had said, okay, fine, God, fine. I'll seriously consider it. Since then, I had always considered January 26th to be, Jesus and my anniversary, because that's the day that he like first asked me to consider him. And then, a year later, it was the day that I had finally, said yes, that he can have my heart. So what did I learn from all of this? And what do I want you to get from my story? God knows us best. He knows our hearts. He knows how to woo and pursue us. So no matter what the call is, every vocation story is an epic love story. God is real, and God's love is free, proven, merciful, and offered. God is truly the protagonist, pursuing our hearts and inviting us to choose to love him back and to choose to put him as number one in our lives. There were many seasons in my life where I did have God first, but there are also seasons when I didn't. So that's where I'm going to stop the video today, like the story today, and I'm going to pick it up that point in the next video of when I didn't choose to put God first, and about those seasons of my life and what I learned about discernment and all of those things through that process. Until then, I love you, I'm praying for you, I'm sending you hugs from here, and as always, strive for holiness.